Hi guys, it's Racquel, your English tutor, and today we're going to look at step 3 as well as step 4 in the writing process, which is writing a draft and then also writing the final, which is the most important part of your exam. So step 3, you are going to need to use the plan that you have done in step 2. I have a video all on planning, check that out. So in the draft phase, you need to refer to step 2 or you need to refer to the planning. In this step, you need to check spelling, you need to check grammar, and you need to check punctuation as well. I'm going to talk about other areas that you also need to take into consideration while you're writing your draft. I'm going to talk about register. This is something that you need to think about when you are writing. When we use the word register in writing or academic writing, we mean, is this piece of writing formal or is it informal? If you're writing a letter to your friend, that's considered informal, so you're using an informal register. If you're going to be writing a resignation letter or an application letter for your CV, which is called a cover letter, you're then going to use a formal register. So when you are writing, you need to know, okay, am I writing something formal or informal? And also the type of essay that you have chosen is going to help you determine the register that you're going to need to use. The second thing that's important is style. Now, what I really like about style is it shows just how individual students are. Writing is a very personal process and everyone has their own style of writing. And a way that you can find your style is by your word choices and the synonyms that you use. And that is why at this stage in your life, even if you're in university or you are an academic, using synonyms and word choices are very important. As somebody who has been in the education industry for over 10 years and somebody who has worked internationally at universities, I know my students' style. As an examiner, as a lecturer, as a teacher, I can pick up a student's piece of work and I know if they have written it themselves or if they haven't. And I will know that by the word choices and by the synonyms that they choose to use. Many a times I can pick up a piece of writing because sometimes when you're marking, you don't really look at any names. If it's obviously marking within a class environment, you pick it up and start marking. And with time, being with the students, I can pick up a piece of writing, start reading it, and I know exactly whose piece of work it is because I begin to become familiar with my students' style of writing. The last thing I want to talk to you about is tone. That's the third thing, and the last thing is tone. Your writing is going to have a certain tone to it. Just like your voice has a tone. I can be so happy. That is like a happy tone. I can be very stern. That is a tone as well. So when it comes to your writing also has a tone. Your writing can reflect feelings. Your writing can express a sense of seriousness and playfulness as well. And that's also connected to your choice of words. Remember, using similes, using metaphors, all of that is going to help you in your essay. So everything I discuss is going to happen in the draft phase. This is where you're writing things down in your mind. You're thinking of tone, you're thinking about register, you're thinking about style, you're crossing stuff out. You're like, no, this is way too formal or this is way too casual. I need to write it in a different type of way. Oh, let me add this metaphor. So we've talked about all of that and you've done all of that. Now we're going to move on to the last phase, which is writing the final essay. In this step, you're basically just writing what you did in the draft but with no mistakes. Try to have little to no mistakes in this part of your paper. Also make sure that you have the correct number of words in it. When it comes to the number of words, do not count the title. I think this is something that I have not mentioned and I apologize for that. The piece of writing that you are going to write, you must choose a title or a heading for that piece of writing. And when it comes to the word count, you do not include the heading or the title as part of your word count. And before you hand in your paper, make sure you cancel out all your planning. That includes any mind map or any numbered or listed planning that you've done, including the actual draft. Cancel all of that out and then you will just have the full completed, wonderfully written essay.